As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. I'm Uncle Solomon. It's so good to be with you, and I hope you are doing very well. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Solomon's Temple, and also like the video, share some of the video. There are great videos that we've made over the years, the last 2-3 years. Please do check them out. And also, if you're looking to get coached on how to use YouTube to make extra money, get in touch with me on this number. For a small fee, I coach people, I train people to show them the best way to use YouTube to make money, instead of just using YouTube and you're not making money, or you don't know how to go around it. And that's what I found out. A lot of people don't know how to go around really making money on YouTube. You need the extra cash. A lot of people need the extra cash. So please do get in touch with me on +27 822 9438. Thank you so much, everyone who's watching. I think Avumile is commenting on this post, the video that is. She said most of them do so. I wonder why. That is, if you go to prison, you come out of prison, then you become a pastor. And Joel is actually quite excited. Joel said, "This is so wonderful. I love your ministry, exposing evil." Thank you so much, Joel. Resta, good to have you here also, all the way from Pulukwani. She said, "I need coaching. I did send WhatsApp. Please do send it again. Sometimes I receive a lot of messages and I get lost. Just send a message and say, 'Hello, Solomon. This is Resta. This is Nopsa, rather, for what do you call it? For us to do what do you call it? Coaching. Please do get in touch with me right away." So before I go on, I'm just gonna play this again for those of you who missed it out.
As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back again. So I came across some news done by some investigative journalists about Oscar Pistorius. Oscar Pistorius, we know him to be a former world-class athlete he had his double amputee. So both his feet were cut off because he had a disease when he was younger. And then he became a very great athlete, and he ran in the Olympics, the Paralympics. He was on top shows across the world, making so much money. And he was involved with this girl called Riva, And one night in his house, something happened and she passed away. She was shot. He said intruders came, but her family and people said no. Even the court said no, you shot her. He said he shot her by mistake, and because he thought they were intruders, right? But the parents actually do not agree with that sort of story. So story coming in now is that Oscar to become a pastor. He's currently in a prison cell in Soshanguve, just outside Pretoria. And he's been in prison for, I think, about 10 years now. And he's going on parole on the 5th of January. He's going to go on parole. He should have gone on parole earlier. But, when you do parole, let's not talk about the legal stuff, right? Okay, a little bit. If you want to go on parole, you have to meet the family of the victim and all that, and they have to agree, but they never really agreed. But then he has served more than half his time there. Oscar is a nice guy. I have met him and I have prayed with him. I have actually given him Christian literature. I've never met him in South Africa. For some of you guys who don't know, I used to be an international sports journalist. So I go to like big sporting events, Olympic Games, World Athletics Championships around the world to report it. And I met him. And I think this was myself and Oscar in Beijing quite a while ago, Beijing, China, during the Olympic Games. This is me and Oscar Pistorius. Believe it or not, that's me. That's me. So this was at the Paralympic Games in Beijing, China. I think 2018, 2016, when I was doing a lot of sports journalism. It was at the Games Village when I met Oscar. Oscar is a nice guy, but it doesn't mean that nice guys don't make mistakes or nice guys don't do things that are wrong. And obviously he did something that was wrong, even though he had not accepted that. He insisted he didn't shoot her intentionally, but he thought it was an intruder, right? So this is Oscar and his late girlfriend, the reason why he's in prison right now. He's been in prison for about 10 years. Now, if you know prison, I've been to prison myself because of some false prophets. And if you know prison, if you go in there, you have to make a choice. Do you want to stay on the side of God or on the side of evil? Because prison is a different ball game totally. And obviously for somebody like him who is so popular and well known, it's totally different. Gangs will try to do stuff to you and all that. But maybe the good news is he has served his time, right? So, though I don't agree with the fact that he's claiming he didn't do it, and that's something that is going to terrorize him for the rest of his life. If he really intentionally shot her because they had an argument or she was leaving him, he would have to live with that for a long time, the rest of his life. The best thing is to just bring it out, confess, tell people the truth. But he's still insistent. So news coming out is like Oscar, he comes from a very religious family. Like I said, I had met him, I had interviewed him, I had prayed with him. Long time, over 14 years ago, when he was at the height of his fame as a sports star. So I'm not surprised now that there is the Daily Mail investigated and say, look, his plan is to actually come out. He's going to stay with his uncle in Pretoria, who is very religious, and then he's going to study. He's going to become a pastor. Here are some of the information. Where is this? So Oscar Pistorius will swap his tiny cell for the luxury of a multi-million pounds 3-story mansion in Pretoria's pluppish suburb, where he is set to study to become a preacher. So he's going to stay with his uncle, study to become a preacher. It's like he has made up his mind. The thing that he wants to do is preaching, not sports anymore. He wants to talk about God. I'm sure he's going to write a book. You know, when you go to prison, prison is one of the best places to meet God. Prison is one of the best places to actually dishonor God also. I've been there, so I'm talking from experience. So They said that, but Pistorius will never be allowed to touch a firearm again, so he's not going to be allowed to touch a gun. And sources said he's determined to turn over a new leaf, dedicate his life to God and to helping others. All these are from sources that are very close, extremely close to him in prison, and also his family sources close to his family. And they said it is this religious backbone that is with his family and all that, which his family hope will steer him back onto the right path and a life dedicated full time to God as a preacher has been mooted. So they talked about it, and he is showing intention to say, look, I just want to live a life fully dedicated to serving God, to helping people, to telling people about Jesus. That's what I want to do. I want to become a preacher. Obviously, it's difficult because he has picked up quite a lot of enemies. So coming out of prison, he's going to come out with enemies outside of prison who are going to be after him. Obviously, he would have to get a security to go around. Crown of Splendor here, he said, I know a friend, pastor of mine, he used to go and minister to Oscar. That's it. In prison. So Renelway says, what is impossible with man is impossible with God. Indeed. Bongani says, this is going to be an interesting journey for him. Hope he will be true to himself. Very important. Because you can imagine Oscar Pistorius as a pastor, as a preacher. Who wouldn't want to listen to him? Whether we disagree with what he did or not, who wouldn't want to listen to him? You would want to listen to how he was transformed. You would want to listen to his pain because we can all connect. You would want to listen to the truth that he has embraced. You want to listen to restoration, how he experienced restoration, because a lot of people are looking for that. Sting says, it's good that they go to the pulpit. God has no specifications for laborers. He can use anyone, indeed. He said, to God be the glory. Yes. And I see Martin there. Martin saying, may God be given the glory for his calling upon Pistorius' life. Trinity, watching all the way from England, brother. You are coming well with this message. Thank you. Martina says, best news ever. Guys, our prayer for people who have committed an offense, people who have disobeyed God, is for them to be reconciled with God and to allow themselves to be used by God. God cannot use Oscar Pistorius if he doesn't allow himself to be used by him. So let's pray for him, right? Here's your sentence. He served 10 years. He served his term. He had paid the price for what he did. Let's pray for him. This is the story of the prodigal son. There's a lot of people that met God in prison. God can meet you anywhere, in your car, in your home, in church, on the street, in prison, of all places. So let's continue to pray for him. Prison experience, let me tell you, his life is changed totally. To be in prison is a totally different community. You need God to survive even when you come out of prison. But we thank God and we hope that he would allow himself to be used by God. And that's the prayer, that his story over the years to come will really help other people. Thank you, guys. God bless you. I'll catch you again soon.